Hello guys, welcome to one more live video. So today we'll read the Materia Medica again, that is from Alan's keynote. माइक भूल गया, मैं माइक ले लेता हूँ फिर उसके बाद देखते हैं. माइक और पेन. Yeah, hello guys, welcome to one more live video. सॉरी फॉर द डिस्टर्बेंस, थोड़ा सेटिंग कम हो गई. सेटिंग थी. वैसे भी 9 बजे से मैं लाइव आता हूँ. 9, थोड़ा टाइम तो लगता है अरेंजमेंट करने में. तो लेट्स सी. टुडे आई एम गोइंग टू रीड फ्रॉम, ऑब्वियसली आई एम रीडिंग Alan's keynote, so we'll continue that only. From Colin Sonia will read. Yesterday till Colchicum we read. From today from Colin Sonia we will read. So yeah, Colin Sonia. So little introduction I want to give. So Colin Sonia from Alan's keynote. After completing the Alan's keynote, I will read the Boric. Then we will read some other subject, like mostly I will focus on the organon, and then we'll read the repertory. After that, we'll read the uh, medicine. So let's see. Collinsonia, stomach and abdomen. Common name stone root. stomach and abdomen. Chronic painful chronic painful bleeding piles, sensation as if stick, sand or gravel had lodged in rectum. Chronic painful and bleeding pile, it has a bleeding piles, sensation as if stick, sensation as if stick, sand or gravel had lodged in the rectum. Hemorrhoidal tendency, hemorrhoidal dysentery with tenesmus. Alternate constipation and diarrhea, congestive inertia of lower bowel, contain stool sluggish and hard with pain and great flatulence. Okay. Female reproductive system, reproductive system, congestion of pelvic viscera with hemorrhoidal, especially in latter month of the pregnancy. Pruritus in pregnancy with hemorrhoidal, unable to lie down. Pelvic and portal congestion resulting in dysmenorrhea and hemorrhoids. Okay. Pelvic and portal congestion resulting in dysmenorrhea and hemorrhoids. Okay. Heart and circulation. Dropsy from cardiac disease, palpitation in patients subject to piles and indigestion. Heart's action persistently rapid but weak. Okay. After heart is relieved, old piles reappear or suppressed menses returns. Okay. Aggravation, the slightest mental emotions or excitement aggravates the symptoms. Relation in heart disease in heart disease complicated with hemorrhoids, consult collinsonia when cactus digitalis and other remedies fail. Okay. Has cured colic after colocynth and nux had failed. Okay. Had cured colic. Okay. After colocynth, mostly in a patient who has so much abdominal pain, I give colocynth. But here it is written has cured colic after colocynth and nux has failed. Okay. Compare Aesculus, aloes, chamomilla, sulfur and nux. Now the next remedy, yeah, we'll see. This is a very important remedy. Colocynth. Colocynth, squeezing cucumber. Elements from affection from anger. Affection from anger is also chamomilla. With indignation, colic, vomiting, diarrhea and suppression of menses. Chamomilla and staphysagria. Yeah, even Steffi has lots of anger. Yeah, so much anger. Extremely irritable, impatient, becomes angry or offended on being questioned. Irritable, throws things out of his hands. Vertigo when quickly turning head, especially to the left, as if he would fall from stimulants. Okay. 1 second. So yeah, colocynth we were reading. Uh, Vertigo when quickly, vertigo is not important in the colocynth. Colocynth, stomach and abdomen. Agonizing pain in the abdomen causing patient to bend double. This is very important. Colocynth, bend double with restlessness, twisting and turning to obtain relief. Ameliorated by hard pressure on the abdomen, by heat in McFors. Pain are worse after eating or drinking. Compel patient to bend double. Okay. McFors, uh, by bending double, aggravation is diascoria. Diascoria is totally opposite. Colic, vomiting and dysentery. Musculoskeletal system, sciatica, Crampy pain in hip as though screwed in a voice lies upon affected side. Shooting pain like lightning shocks down the whole limb, left hip, left thigh, left knee into popliteal fossa. Shooting pain like lightning shock, okay, down the whole limb, left hip, left thigh, left knee into popliteal fossa. Female reproductive system. Menses suppressed by chaggering, colic pain. Aggravation, anger and indignation, mortification caused by offense, Staphylococcus aureus and Lycopodium, cheese, okay. Ambulation by doubling up, hard pressure. Now the next remedy we are going to read is Conium maculatum, poison hemlock, Umbelliferae is a family. Constitution especially for especially for disease of old men, old maids, old bachelors with rigid muscular fiber, person with light hair who are easily excited, strong person of sedentary habits, cancerous, cancerous and scrofulous person with enlarged gland, rigid fiber, no inclination for business or study, so yeah, sorry for the disturbance. Conium maculatum, especially for disease of old men, old maids, old bachelors with rigid muscular fiber, yeah, rigid muscular fiber, person with light hair who are easily excited, strong person of sedentary habits, cancerous and scrofulous person with enlarged glands, rigid fiber, no inclination for business or study, indolent, indifferent, takes no interest in anything. This is mind, conium maculatum, okay. Memory weak, unable to sustain any mental efforts, morose, easily vexed, domineering, quarrelsome, scolds, will not bear contradiction, aurum. Excitement of any kind causes mental depression, dreads being alone yet avoids society. Generalities, sorry, generalities. The the balm of Gilead, the balm of Gilead for disease of old maids and women during and after climacteric, debility of old people, complaints caused by a blow or fall, balm of Gilead for disease of old maids and women. बंद कर दो ना, देखो वो सही है. Debility of old people complaints caused by a blow or fall. Sweat day and night as soon as one sleeps or even when closing the eyes. Sweat day and night or as soon as one sleeps or even when closing the eyes. Head. Vertigo especially when lying down or turning in bed. Vertigo especially when lying down or turning in bed. Moving the head slightly or even the eyes. Moving the head, vertigo. Vertigo especially when lying down or turning in bed. Moving the head slightly or even the eyes must keep head perfectly still. In turning the head to the left of old people with ovarian and uterine complaints. Eyes and visions. Aversions to light without inflammation of eyes. Worse from using eyes in artificial light. Often the student remedy for night work, intense photophobia. Aversions to light without inflammation of eyes. Aversions to light without inflammation of the eyes. Worse, worse from using eyes in artificial light. Often the students remedy for night work, intense photophobia. Respiratory system, cough in spasmodic paroxysm caused by dry spot in larynx, in throat actia, uh, with the itching chest and throat iodum, worse at night when lying down and during pregnancy, causticum and calibicromium. Okay. Genitourinary system, great difficulty in voiding urine, flow intermits, then flow again, prostatic or uterine affections. Female reproductive system is important in the conium. Let's see what all mentioned. Glandular induration, induration of stony hardness of mammae and testicle in person of cancerous tendency after bruises and injuries of glands. Glandular induration of stony hardness of mammae and testicles in person of cancerous tendency after bruises and injuries of glands. Breast sore, hard and painful before and during menstruation. Breast sore and hard and painful before and during menstruation. Menses feeble, suppressed. Menses feeble, suppressed, too late, scanty, of short duration. Menses feeble, suppressed, too late, scanty, of short duration with rash of small red pimples over body, which cease with the flow, stopped by taking cold by putting hands in cold water. Lac defloratum. Leukorrhea 10 days after menses. Borax bovista. Leukorrhea 10 days after menses. Sorry. Acrid borax and bovista. Acrid, bloody, milky, profuse, thick, intermits. Bad effects of suppressed sexual desire. Bad effects of suppressed sexual desire or suppressed menses. Non gratification of sexual instinct or from excessive indulgence. Male sexual system. Stony hard induration of the testicles. Aggravation at night, lying down, turning or raising up in bed, celibacy. Okay. Corallium rubrum. Head feels very large, 3 times its size, suited to psoric and syphilitic constitution, to person of nervous temperament, suffering from nervous cough. Suited to psoric and syphilitic constitution, to person of nervous temperament, suffering from nervous cough. Psoriasis of the palm and the sole. Corallium rubrum. Okay. Suited to psoriatic and syphilitic constitution to person of nervous temperament suffering from cough, psoriasis of palms and the soles, violent Corallium rubrum. Yeah, Corallium is a very important. The important symptom is respiratory system, violent spasmodic cough, firing minute guns, of short barking cough all day, firing minute Corallium rubrum, violent spasmodic cough, firing minute guns of short barking cough all day, isolated cough at regular but short intervals, whooping cough with something sensation before and great exhaustion after the fit. Okay. So the fit. Woofing cough or any other cough when the attack comes on with a very rapid cough and the attack follows so closely as to almost run into each other. Profuse secretion of mucus through the posterior nares obliging one to hawk frequently. Okay. Male reproductive system. Red and smooth ulcer on the glands and in the internal surface of the prepuce with sanous and yellowish secretion. Okay. Swelling of the prepuce with pain as from excoriation when it is touched. The margin of the prepuce feels sore when linen touches it. Eruption which are of coral red color. Skin of corallium is eruption which are of coral red color. Red spot in the palm of the hand, at first coral color, then darker and finally coppery. These spots are smooth. Red spot on the palm of the hand, at first color, then darker and then finally coppery. These spots are smooth. Red and smooth spot on the skin on palms of hands and in the finger. Measles. Feels cold when uncovered and too hot when covered. Feels cold when uncovered and too hot when covered. Worse in the open air, worse changing from warm to cold room. Now the remedy which I am going to read is crocus sativa. Sorry, crocus sativa. It's a very important, very interesting remedy to read. Mind symptoms, every symptoms. Saffron, frequent and extreme changes in sensation, sudden from the greatest hilarity to the deepest despondency. Ignatian Nux vomica. Excessively happy, affectionate, wants to kiss everybody. The next moment in a rage. Hemorrhage from any part, blood black, viscid clotted, forming into long black string hanging from bleeding surface. Elapse. Okay. Headache during climatic throbbing, pulsating, aggravation during 2 or 3 days of accustomed menstrual flow, nervous or menstrual headache before, during, or after flow, lachesis and silesian sequelae. Eyes and vision eye sensation as if room were filled with smoke, as if had been weeping, as of cold wind blowing across the eyes. Closely closing lids tightly gives. Nosebleed black, tenacious, stringy, every drop can be turned into thread. With cold sweat in large drops on forehead. Cold sweat but wants to be fanned with bright red color blood, carbovege in children who develop too rapidly, calcaria and FOS. Central nervous system, chorea and hysteria, with great hilarity, singing and dancing. Tarantula, hysteria, with great hilarity, singing and dancing, alternating with melancholy and rage. Spasmodic contraction and twitching of single set of muscle, agaricus, ignatia, and zincum. Female reproductive system dysmenorrhea, flow black, stringy, clotted, Ustilago, sensation as if something alive were moving in the stomach, abdomen, uterus, arms and other parts of the body. Sabadilla, Tuja sulfur with nausea and faintness. Now the remedy which I am going to read is Crotalus horridus. Poisons of rattlesnake is indicated in strumous, debilitated, hemorrhagic, broken down constitution during zymotic disease in inib sorry inebrities, tendency to carbuncles or blood boils, anthracynum. Wait. Crotalus horridus, poison of rattlesnake, is indicated in strumous, debilitated, hemorrhagic, broken down constitution during zymotic disease. In inebriates, tendency to carbuncles or blood boils, anthracynum. Generalities: disease caused by a previous low state of the system, low septic typhoid or malarial fever, chronic alcoholism, exhausted vital force, genuine collapse, hemorrhagic diathesis, blood flow from eyes, ear, nose, and every orifice of the body, bloody sweat. Eyes and vision, yellow color of conjunctiva clears up vision after keratitis or keratoiritis. Tongue fiery red, smooth and polished, pyrogenum intensely swollen. Respiratory system, malignant diphtheria or scarlatina, edema or gangrene of fauces of or tonsil, pain, aggravation from empty swallowing if vomiting or diarrhea comes on. Stomach and abdomen, vomiting, bilious with anxiety and weak pulse every month. After menstruation, cannot lie on right side or back without instantly producing dark green vomiting, black or coffee ground of yellow fever. Diarrhea, stool blacks, thin like coffee grounds, offensive from anxious effluvia or septic matters in food or drinks from high game. Pyrogenum during yellow fever, cholera, typhoid, typhus. Okay. Intestinal hemorrhage when occurring in typical septic or zymotic disease. Blood dark fluid non-coagulable. Crotalus horridus. Horridus. Crotalus horridus. Malignant jaundice, hematic rather than hepatic. Malignant jaundice, hematic rather than hepatic. Okay. Purpura hemorrhagica comes on suddenly from all orifices, skin, nails, gums. Central nervous system, apoplexy, apoplectic convulsions in inebriates, hemorrhagic or broken down constitution. Female reproductive system, vicarious menstruation in debilitated constitution, digitalis phosphorus. Menopause, intensely flushing and drenching perspiration, faintness and sinking of at stomach, prolonged metrorrhagia, dark fluid, offensive, profound anemia. Malignant disease of uterus, great tendency to hemorrhage, blood dark, fluid, offensive. Skin dissecting wounds, insect sting, bad effects of vaccination. Croton tiglium. Croton tiglium, skin symptoms and female reproductive systems. No, skin symptoms and stomach and abdomen is very important. Let's see. Croton tiglium. Croton oil seed affects mucous membrane of the intestinal tract, producing transudation of watery portions of blood, a copious watery diarrhea. The bowel are The bowel are moved as by spasmodic jerks, coming out like a short gambusium. As soon as patient eats, drinks, or, or even while eating yellow watery stools. Constant urging to stool followed by sudden evacuation which is short of the rectum. क्या हुआ क्या हुआ अभी मैं भी काम कर रहा हूँ अभी आता हूँ चलो मैं भी वही कर रहा हूँ आता हूँ पानी लेके जाना ये पानी लेके जाना पानी लेके जाना दुकान पे हेलो हाँ हाँ भेज रहा हूँ हाँ ओके ओके क्रोटॉन टिग्लियम क्रोटॉन टिग्लियम respiratory system cough as soon as head touches the pillow a spasmodic cough set in female reproductive system drawing pain through the chest from breast to scapula drawing pain through the chest from breast to scapula at same side every time the child nurses. Skin is also important in the croton tiglia. Intense itching of skin but no so tender is unable to scratch. Amelioration by gentle rubbing. Eczema over whole body. Intense itching of genitals of both sexes. Plus, vesicular eruptions on male so sensitive that sore is unable to touch.
चलो मैं शायद चेंज कर रहा हूँ, ये कलर ये ग्रीन कलर थोड़ा कम अच्छा दिख रहा
Now the next remedy I am going to read is cuprum met. Bad effect of repercussed eruption, cuprum metallicum. Cuprum met is also good for uh, respiratory system. Bad effect of repercussed eruption of non-developed zinc, resulting in brain's affection, spasm, convulsion, vomiting of suppressed food, sweat. Mental and physical exhaustion from overexertion of mind and loss of sleep, cocculus and nux. Mental and physical exhaustion from overexertion of mind and loss of sleep, cocculus and nux. Attacks of unconquerable anxiety. Generalities, spasm and cramps. Symptoms disposed to appear periodically and in group. Respiratory system, cough has a gurgling sound as if water was being poured. Cough has a gurgling sound as if water was being poured from a bottle. Cough by drinking cold water, ambulation by drinking cold water, causticum by drinking cold water. Co- in cuprum met, cough ameliorates by drinking cold water, but in causticum aggravates by drinking cold water. Causticum and spongia both. Okay. Whooping cough, long lasting suffocating spasmodic cough, unable to speak, breathless. Blue uh, blue face rigid stiff, 3 attacks successively, sternum. Vomiting of solid food after remaining unconsciousness. Cataleptic spasm with each paroxysm. A strong sweetish metallic copper taste in the mouth with flow of saliva. Rust talks. Constant prostration and retraction of the tongue like a snake. Constant prostration and retraction of the tongue like snake. Necrosis. While drinking the fluid descends with a gurgling sound. Ars and tuja. While drinking the fluid descends with a gurgling sound. Ars and tuja. Cholera morbus or Asiatic cholera with cramps in abdomen and calves of legs. Female reproductive system. After pains, severe distressing in calves and soles. Cramps in the extremities, pain, sole, calves with great weariness of limbs. Central nervous system. Convulsion with blue face and clenched thumb. Central nervous system. Convulsion with blue face and clenched thumbs. Clonic spasm beginning in finger and toes. Central nervous system. Convulsion with cuprum met. Okay. Clonic spasm beginning in finger and toes and spreading over entire body. During pregnancy, puerperal convulsion after fright or vexation from metastasis from other organs to brain. Zincum. Clonic spasm beginning in finger and toes and spreading over entire body. During pregnancy, puerperal convulsions after fright or vexation from metastasis from other organs to brain. Paralysis of tongue, imperfect stammering speech. Buffo. Epilepsy aura begins in knee. Epilepsy aura begins in knee and ascends at night during sleep. Buffo. About new moon at regular intervals, menses from a fall or blow upon the head from getting wet. Cold air, cold wind at night, suppressed foot sweat or exanthem. Amelioration, nausea, vomiting and cough by a swallow of cold water. Okay. Curare. curare. Diabetes mellitus, fourth, dilution. Giddiness comes on instantly, falls in swoon while standing or walking. Ozaina, fetid lumps of pus. Red face, head beats like a hammer. Hiccup, frequent and annoying. Sorry. Respiratory system, chest sore, can hardly bear pressure of. Okay. Head, chest sore, can hardly bear pressure of stethoscope. Okay. Curare. Curare. Chest sore, can hardly bear pressure of stethoscope. Urine copious, urgent, bladder feels distended. Female reproductive system, leukorrhea, thick, purulent, offensive in clots. Musculoskeletal system, stiffness in neck, head drawn back, great weakness of wrist and bands. Legs tremble and give way in walking. Sciatica with great stiffness. Central nervous system, muscular paralysis without impairing sensation and consciousness. Nervous debility, paralysis of the respiratory system. Nervous paralysis without central nervous system. Central nervous system, muscular paralysis, curare. Muscular paralysis without impairing sensation and consciousness. Nervous debility, paralysis of the respiratory muscles. It causes death by protruding this symptom. Threatened paralysis of respiration on falling asleep. Short breath, very distressing dyspnea. Catalepsy, rush of blood to head. Cons, eczema, liver spots. Cyclamen. Now the next remedy we are going to read is cyclamen. So, bread. Element from suppressed grief and terrors of conscience. Element from suppressed grief and terror of conscience. From duty not done or bad act committed. From duty not done or act committed. Best suited for leukophlegmatic person with anemic or choleritic condition, easily fatigued, and in consequences not inclined to any kind of labor, feeble or suspended function of organs or special senses. Great sadness and peevishness, sadness and peevishness, irritable, morose, ill-humored, inclined to weep, desire for solitude, aversions to open air, reverse of pulsatilla, disinclined to labor and easily fatigued, great lassitude, especially evening. Generalities: pains, pressive, drawing or tearing of parts where bones lie near the surface, aversions to bread, butter, meat, fat, beer, and ordinary food, craving for inedible things, for sardines, worst by heat, better on walking, worse at night, headache, headache in anemic patient with flickering before eyes or dim vision on raising in morning, migraine with flickering before eyes, congestion of the blood to the head, increased sensation of heat in the head, ears and hearing, Diminution of hearing as if the ears were stopped. Nose. Diminution of smell. Fluent coryza with sneezing. Eyes and vision flickering before eyes. Fiery sparks as of various colors. Glittering needles, dim vision of fog or smoke. Double vision, strabismus. Amblyopia, diplopia, hemiopia. Her sight was so weak that she did not dare to walk alone. Her sight was so weak that she did not dare to walk alone. Disturbance of vision associated with gastric disorder. The tonsil and the palate are shriveled and white. Sorry. Satiety, abdomen, stomach and abdomen. Satiety after a few mouthfuls, lycopodium. Food then becomes repugnant, causes nausea in throat and palate. Saliva and all food has a salty taste. Pork disagrees. Discharges of blood from rectum, vomiting of blood. So guys, I have some important work to do now. So let's see you tomorrow. So digitalis I will read. Digitalis, sudden flushes of heat followed by great nervous weakness and irregular intermitting pulse occurring at a climacteric. Aggravation by least motion. Weak heart without valvular complication. Uh, Sensation as if heart would stop beating if she moved. Cocaine fears that unless constant on the move, heart will cease breathe. Gels. Pulse full irregular, very slow and weak, intermitting very every third, fifth or seventh beat. Third, fifth, seventh beat. Blueness of skin, eyelids, lips, tongue, cyanosis. Distended veins on lips, ears, lips and tongue. Fatal syncope may occur when being raised to upright position. Respiratory system, great weakness of chest, cannot bear to talk sternum. Respiratory system, respiration irregular, difficult, deep sea. Stomach and abdomen is not important. So I hope 1 hour I completed. So today I'm going to close soon. Thanks for watching. Thank you.